Okay, good morning or afternoon, depending on what time you're watching this. This is lesson 7 for course 3, and our lesson will be a little bit longer. So get your notebook out and be ready to take some notes and write down some examples and then work the practice set. So this lesson is on rates, averages, and measures of central tendency. We have the title here written down. So let's get started. Okay, you're going to write, remember you need to write all the words that are in blue. You need to write down the definitions of the words. So the first word is rate. A rate is a division relationship between two measures. A rate is a division relationship between two measures. And a unit rate means it's a rate, but the second measure is 1. So I'll show you what that means. These are unit rates right here. So write these down as examples in your notes. 65 miles per 1 hour looks like this. That's a rate. 24 miles per 1 gallon. See, it doesn't say 1, but you have to assume that's per 1 gallon. That's a unit rate. 32 feet per second. And 15 cents per ounce. These are all unit rates. And then it says here that rate problems involve the two units that form the rate. So let's see. Number of hours, if you multiply that times 65 miles per hour, you'll get the number of miles. Write that down in your notes. And if you take the number of gallons and you multiply times your unit rate, which is 24 miles per gallon, you'll get the number of miles traveled. And you'll kind of need this information to solve some problems. All right, once you get that in your notes, let's move on. Write down example 1. Driving at an average speed of 55 miles per hour, about how far will the driver travel in 6 hours? Well, we just had that in our notes. If we take the miles per hour, and we multiply by how many hours they're driving, then we'll get our rate. Or we'll get how far they travel. So let's take 55 miles per hour, multiply it by 6, and you can do the math. And you should get 330 miles, and that's how far they can go on 55 miles, on an average speed of 55 miles an hour. All right, let's do the next one. Example 2. Let's write this down. Heather finished the 100-kilometer bike race in 4 hours. What was her average speed in kilometers per hour? So we need to find the average. Now when we're trying to find the average, okay, so we're looking to find the average. That's the abbreviation for average. And it says, we have keywords here. What is her speed in kilometers per hour? That word per, when you see it, normally will mean that you're going to take the first word, kilometers, and you're going to divide it by the number of hours. Per is your keyword, so kilometers per hour. So we're going to take the 100 kilometers here, and we're going to divide that by the 4 hours. Well, and that's easy to do. 100 divided by 4 is 25 kilometers per hour, per 1 hour. So you did a unit rate. Another way you can do that is just reduce this. You get 25 over 1 if you divided the top and the bottom by 4. Well, look, you have a unit rate because your second measure, this one here, the second measure is 1. All right, let's go to the next one. Example 3. Traveling at a rate, so they already give you the rate, at 58 miles per hour, about how long would it take a car to travel 20 miles? So 58 miles an hour, let's write that down. That's our keyword. We have 58 mph, miles per hour. And then we want to know how far will it go, or how long would it take for it to travel 20 miles. Okay, so the solution is, the way they do this in the book is here. And at 60 miles an hour, that means you're going 1 mile for every minute. 60 miles per hour means 60 miles for 60 minutes. So that's 1 mile for each minute. And since 58 is almost 60, then the trip would take about 20 minutes, because 20 miles is equal to 1/3 of 60. Okay, let's go on to the next problem. All right, so now we'll talk about average, and you need to write this word down, average. The average is of a set of numbers, is a central number. It's a central number that is found by dividing the sum of the elements of a set by the number of the elements. So you add the numbers up, basically, is what you're going to do the average. So to find the average, you're going to add the numbers up, right, to get the sum. That's called the sum when you add the numbers up. And then you're going to divide that. This is a fraction bar. That means to divide by the number of numbers that you have. How many numbers that you have. That's how you find the average. This is also called the mean. So the average and the mean are the same thing. So make sure you have that in your notes. The definition as well as what I've written. All right, and you've done average, hopefully, many, many times. So example 4 is just an average problem. It says in 4 8th grade classrooms at Keeler School, there are 28, 29, 31, and 32 students. What is the average number of students in the 8th grade classroom at Keeler School? What would we do? Well, we would just add those numbers up. 28 plus 29 plus 31 plus 32. Add that up and divide by the number of numbers. Well, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to divide by 4. All right, so what you would get when you add up, get 120, take that, divide it by 4, and you get an average of 30 students per class. All right, let's move on. All right, I'm going to read this to you and tell you what to write. All right, the average or mean is one central measure of central tendency. Other measures include median. You need to write that down. The median is the central number in a set of data. That means it's the middle number. So median means middle. And the mode is the most frequently occurring number. So measures of central tendency, you want to write this down. Measures of central tendency include the median and the mode and the average or mean. So there's 3 different words under measure of central tendency. Median, which is the middle number, mode, which is the most common, and then average, which is the mean. All right, now it tells us to find the median, so you want to write this down. To find the median, you put the numbers in order from least to greatest, and you find the middle number. And if there's no middle number, then you have to average the 2 middle numbers. Next, write this down. To find the mode, you select the number that appears most often. Make sure that is all in your notes, okay? Example 5. Okay. All right, example 5 has a chart in it, graph. If you want to, you can print this out at home and put it in your notes. It shows the prices of new homes sold in a neighborhood. We have the mean, the median, and the mode. It tells me to find the mean, median, and the mode of the data. And then it says, it asks kind of an interesting question. It says, which measure should a researcher use to best represent the data? So this is a real thinking question. So the easy part is just finding the mean, and if you guys have a calculator, you can do that right now. You want to find the mean, which is the average. Okay, these are the home prices. How many are there? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. So there's 12 numbers, so you have to add them all up and divide by 12. That will give us the mean. So you want to do that. If you want to use a calculator to add that up, that's fine. Then you want to do the median, which means you have to put them in order from least to greatest. So then we want to do that. So I'm going to go back on the mean in a minute. I'm going to do the median and the mode. The easiest one to do is the mode, because it's just the one that appears most often. So which one repeats? Does 170 repeat? No. 208? No. 185, does that repeat? No. 209. So it looks to me like the only thing that repeats is this one. So the mode is going to be 175, and it says in thousands, so that's $175,000 for a house. Then we want to do the median, so we're going to put them in order. Okay, so here we go. I've listed the numbers in order. Make sure we have 12 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, now if you remember how to do the median, you're going to cross off the lowest and the highest. Another, define the middle. The lowest, the highest. Lowest, highest, lowest, highest, lowest, highest, and then you have 2 in the middle. So in order to find the median, you have to average those two numbers. Or for our purposes, you can look and see which number is in between would be the average, and that's going to be 186,000. So the median is 186,000. Now we want to find the mean, and we add up all those numbers together. When you add them, you should get 2278, 2,278, and then you're going to divide that by 12. And when you divide that, it doesn't really go in evenly. It's about 189.8 thousand, so we could actually just leave it like that. So 189.8, I believe, if I did that right. So here's the mean, the average, here's the median, and then here is the mode. Now the question is, which measure should a researcher use to best represent the data? Which one best represents the data? Would the mode best represent the data, do you think? I don't think so, because it's a little bit low. If you look at this chart right here, it's low. 175 is going to be right in here, and that doesn't best represent the data. You want something that's more in the middle. Okay, if you look at the median is 186, so it's going to be right in here. And then the mean is 189, closer to 190. So probably the median is going to be the most accurate. But if you want it to look like the house costs a lot more, then you can use the mean. All three of these are called measures of central tendency. It's where the data set, what happens to the data in the middle of the data. Central means middle. So that's your answer as well as I can give it to you. So summarize that in your own words. You might have to play that back. All right, the last word we have for today is the range. So write that down. The range is of a set of data is the difference between the greatest and the least numbers in the set. So the range of the home prices that we just talked about, the highest price was $219, the lowest was $170, so the range is $49,000, which is the difference between the greatest and the least of the numbers. Okay, so that was a little bit long, but now we have a practice set. So your job is to work the practice set. You might want to snap or take a picture of that, because I'm going to change it because this isn't all of it. So you have A through E, and we have F through I. So you want to do as many of those as you can, and then we can go over them in class and you can ask questions. All right, hope you guys had a great, or have a great day, and I will see you soon.